So let's start. Last week, I was still working on the storage-based stress test, and I ran into a couple issues, which is not right related to the backfill or recovery, which was due to the missing operation, which are supposed to be the building block of the backfill and recovery. For example, the read V, which read a bunch of extent from object store, and the trunk, and the operation which reads the OMAP from a given object, which is also used by the recovery and backfill. And I'm working on it. I added the support of them, and I realized that sometimes the object does not necessarily have the OMAP. So that's why my last run of a stress test failed because of that. So I'm adding aerated support to the newly added operations to ensure that at least the error message and the failure are less surprising. Let's put it this way. And I plan to erratize more of the operations along the way. And that's it. I'm done.
Hi. For me, two things last week. The first one was I continued working on the EIO handling case. I'm trying to figure out currently where in our code should the handling exactly should be done. It seems like there are two cases where we want to do that. That is, one is when we have a CRC mismatch, and the second one where the object store is returning EIO. Traditionally, in classical OSD, it was just done by the function rep prepare primary object, and it was called from do read and do sparse read. So the equivalent of these two functions in Crimson is pg backend read and pg backend sparse read. But so there it seems like it handles the CRC mismatch case. I mean, it still doesn't handle it. We can handle it there, but replicated backend is also calling object store read. So we need to handle that too, and I'm not sure at which level would that be correct to handle.
And correctly, we also try to recover the object store if we run into CRC, right? Like trigger a recovery.
Yeah, it's the same, exactly. So it's the same behavior for both of them. The reason I'm not just doing it in PG backend is because it seems like there are other parts that we need to implement this handling for every place essentially that calls object store read. So that's what I'm trying to figure out right now. And the second thing is, wait, any more questions on that?
Not really. I think it could be a little bit complicated. So if you running something you see there's a lot of option on the tables. Probably you can send a mail to the mailing list so we can discuss it further for more inputs.
Okay, cool. Thanks.
Regarding to where we should put the recovery and put the EIO handling.
Okay, yeah, thanks. That would be great. And the second thing is, last week I came across a paper that was presented in FAST 20, the conference, 6 months ago. It introduces a sort of extension to Crush algorithm. Basically, it talks about the possible problem you have with Crush with data migration happening when there are non-trivial cluster expansions, and it introduces like an expansion to it that overcomes this issue. I brought it up in last week's Ceph Performance Weekly with Mark and Josh, and that was the main topic of discussion last week, and we are going to continue talking about it this week. I'm going to link the paper here in the chat just so everybody have an idea what I'm talking about, and you can look at it at your free time. Currently in my drive, because I've also edited the PDF a little bit, I added like color coding and marking of particular points that I found critical or informative. So that should make the reading experience just easier. So you can see like what are the main points, and you can also comment it.
Is this document accessible outside of Red Hat?
No, it's only accessible from Red Hat.
Okay.
You can also just link the original name. You wouldn't have the highlighting, but it's fine.
Yeah. Okay. I'll also link to the original paper. Again.
It'll be idea.
Okay. You can. That's pretty much it. So you can continue while I'm just searching for the link.
Okay. Tremay.
Yeah, I finished the string key value layout operation and currently working on the tree node implementation. And I will rebase the external M tree to the master branch and review it again. So that's all.
I don't quite get what do you mean by stream layout?
OMAP tree.
Okay.
OMAP tree. Sorry. Yeah.
Okay. Ritik.
Hello. Last week, not much for Crimson, just reviews. Was working mostly for BlueFS, and now got an assignment in RGW around offloading the OMAP stuff. However, I'm addressing a bunch of comments, a bunch of reviews, comments on the unit testing for Backfill code. Found actually a bug there in Backfill implementation. Working to solve it. But I've got a question which is related to broadly to the recovery stuff. What is our plan for PG log based recovery? Do we plan to move it to the finite state machine concept?
Isn't it there already, most of it?
No, I don't think so.
At least the recovery is not quite a finite state machine, right?
It's way less important that it be structured as a finite state machine than that it have topology testing. Once it works and is well tested and is running regularly, then we can consider rewriting it to be a finite state machine. Until then, I don't think it's worth spending time on.
Apart, the tautology testing is blocked.
Why?
Because we are getting a lot of noise coming even from BlueStor, from other gizmos. I'm afraid that the Backfill code has not.
That's the most important thing to fix. Them.
Okay, but this can take some time. In the meanwhile,
the idea to spend time on it immediately.
Sorry?
So it's really important to work on it.
Yeah. So probably I think we can reprioritize the tautology-based test. So I think it's a work on me, and I've been adding the missing pieces in the PG backend and other places. Now I'm working on the error handling. So probably we can just using divide conquer approach to address it. So if any of us has an extra bandwidth, I would like to discuss with you on the.
We should start triaging out bugs. As we identify things, maybe put them into a document or create bugs, and then we'll just start picking them up. Radek, what's happening is tautology is turning up actual shortcomings in Crimson that make it unusable. Until those are fixed, it's not interesting to change the structure of existing code. We have to fix it first.
Okay, well, I will entirely focused on Backfill. From my perspective, I suspect I have a lot of bugs there, and unit testing could help to find those bugs. Actually, this happened with the thing I'm working on right now. What I'm trying to extrapolate here is that the same approach could be viable for the pglog based recovery. And I started thinking how much how much time it would consume to actually restructure the current code, how much it would cost, how much time would be needed to bring it to the finished state machine concept. If it is under 1 week, then we could start real testing. Okay, still far shallower than in case of trashing test on tautology, but still we would get at least some test coverage with unit testing.
Well, that's not the thing that's causing the most immediate bugs, so I don't think it's important.
Yeah, I tend to agree with Sam, because if we have tests to verify the existing behavior, that will be increase our confidence regarding to the change we will have along the way to have a finite state machine based implementation.
Okay, I'm fine with that. But not on that. Till we don't have the testing, unit testing, trashing testing, whatever, I would be far away from claiming that, let's say, Backfill is ready.
Yes. By the way, I was also updating a spreadsheet prepared by Josh to summarize the milestones we have. Like for each working item, we have a milestone connecting to the release time. For example, which feature will be ready in Pacific and which feature will be in the Q release. So I'm trying to cross out some item, and I realized that we haven't finished any of them with the concrete proof. For example, we merged a bunch of PR to add the backfill and recovery, but we haven't run them against the stretch test and have a green result. And I think the foremost thing again is the stretch test, and or we could have a unit test to verify that at least a part of it works. Anyway, I just posted the URL to the search-based suite. Xuehan whipped up, and later on I updated a little bit, and I am tracking the failures we have, and I will add I will put them transfer some of these failures to a tracker ticket, so any one of us could get a chance to grab them and try to fix them. We can coordinate later on it.
Can you send out like an email with what tag we're putting these under and how to search for them? That way, as things get added, we can find them and we know what tag to put them under as we find them as well. It's crucial, by the way, when you guys, at least when we were stabilizing classic OSD the first time, if you bother looking through a tautology run, please take the time to write a bug up for each crash, even if you don't have time to investigate it yourself. Like, take the time to look and see if it matches an existing bug, and if not, create a new one. You don't have to assign it to yourself. That's not the point. The point is simply to make sure that we have it can take 20 minutes to an hour just to identify what the crash was. So once you've invested that time, make a bug.
Sure. We'll do that.
Makes sense.
Sam, we already have a category dedicated to Crimson, so we don't need a tag. I will.
Or a category, whatever the search term is. I just wasn't sure what it was.
Sure. Okay. Renan.
Hi everybody. I'm scrubbing still. Now it's Now the code is as good as the original classic code. I'm cleaning it up and preparing it for first review. Cleaning up means apart from removing extra code, I'm finding minor options for failure, which I'm fixing, which takes time. So it will take me some time more to complete this task. And I will open, like we discussed yesterday, I will open a ticket for the problem I'm seeing in the original code with one of the standalone tests. That's it for me.
So I assume that your refactory is ready to review, right? Because it's a functionality-wise on par with the existing classic OSD.
Yes, needs clean up because now it has hundreds of log messages inside and comments.
Sure.
I'm cleaning it up and preparing it. Yes.
Got it. Thank you. Sam.
Okay, I'm debugging dirty block writeout. I have the code written basically, and I ended up fleshing out a lot of the machinery needed to do generalized garbage collection as well. So I'm gonna do that as a separate PR, but I've got a lot of that done as well. So.
Thank you. Shehan.
This week I just finished coding for embedding interruption mechanism into Aerated Future, but right now there are still some serious bugs in it, and I'm trying to deal with it. And that's all for me.
Ying-Xin.
Last week I'm porting the memory-based solution of the ONode tree to SeaStor, and that I think that should be extensible to the current implemented tests. And I'm currently integrating the context and the Aerated Future, and try to migrate to SeaStor G-test framework. And that's it.
Okay. And Shehan, I got a question. So what you plan regarding to the recovery test?
You mean recovery test?
The test for the unit test for recovery because Redux is working on a framework for exercising backfill. I think most of them could be reused for testing recovery.
Okay, I think I can start working on a unit test for recovery after I finish the interruption work.
Sure. Or you could take a look at the PR by Regedeck to see what you think about it, and so we can add the missing pieces which could be reused by recovery.
Okay.
Anything else?
Linking the PR, the work in progress PR with unit testing for Backfill. Here it is. Some parts I believe will be useful for recovery as well.
Thanks.
I will send out a mail for querying how to find the bugs I found when testing the recurring backfill. So we can grab the bugs when we have extra bandwidth. If nothing else, have a good one and talk to you later.
you.
Later.
Thank you, guys. See you later. Bye.
Bye.
Thanks.
See you.